Are you a purpose-driven entrepreneur struggling to get web traffic that converts into paying clients? Stop wasting time and money. Discover how to position yourself as the go-to authority in your niche or industry. Infuse your wow website with the best unmarketing strategies and drive traffic to your website that converts to leads and clients. Listen to the Unmarket Your Business podcast today and watch as your ideal clients find you with ease. Let's head into the studio now with our hostess with the mostest, Carol J. Dunlop. Hey everyone, and welcome back. I'm Carol J. Dunlop, your online wow strategist, and I'm here again with another great episode. And this time I have one of my newly favorited people with me, Lissa Figgins. Lissa is going to talk about getting back your time, or actually redeeming your time. Don't we all need to do that? Get our time back. I can't wait to get into it. But before that, let's talk about funnels. Since this is the perfect time for you to put a funnel into place, Black Friday is coming up next week. So this is a perfect time for you to get all your stuff together so that you can make the money that you want on Black Friday weekend. I call it Black Friday weekend because it all actually starts on Thursday night. And then it continues on Friday. Then there's Small Business Saturday. There's Sell Something Sunday. There's Cyber Monday. And then there's Giving Tuesday. So you got a whole window of about like 5-6 days that you can sell stuff that you can even give back. So you need to get your funnels in place so you're not just selling that one little thing, but you're selling a range of products, or you're selling a lot of stuff over this holiday weekend. So I've got this special thing for you, and it's called Free to Upsell. So it's my masterclass that I did in the Unmarketing Academy. And what it does, it takes you from having a freebie, because that's how you get people on your list. You have a freebie, you set that up. It's called, you may hear it called a lead magnet or ethical bribe, or what is an opt-in. And so you have that, and you give them something that they would otherwise pay for. You have it for free. Now, I know you got a plethora of things you can do, so figure out something that you can put out there for free. I mean, I'm not telling you to give a $500 program away, although you can, and I have done that. But the thing is, when they get that free thing, you want them to go to a thank you page that is also an upsell page. So the thank you page sits there and says, thank you for downloading this, thank you for getting this, or whatever it is. And then it offers them something that they need to pay money for. Studies have shown and proven over the years that if a person spends at least $1 with you, they'll probably spend more. So I did this class all on that. Free to Upsell is what I call it. And it'll take you all the way from setting up your freebie, setting up your thank you upsell page, and then showing them a one-time offer that's not available anywhere else, so that they can spend some more money with you, right? Because if people know you, like you, trust you, they're going to want to spend money with you. And why not offer them the opportunity when they're right there, they have their wallets open and they're ready to go. So you can go to unmarketyourbusiness.com/free, FREE 2, the number 2, upsell. Unmarketyourbusiness.com/free, the number 2, upsell, all together, one word thing. And you can get that for only $97. And guess what else you get? You get 2 months access into the Unmarketing Academy, which means you get to see all the videos, all the other quarterly trainings that I've done. You get access to all the goodness that's there. So go ahead and get that. All right, it's tech time right now. And our tech time for this week is Calendly. Calendly is a system that I've used for about, I'd say, 5 years now. I love Calendly because it stops all that back and forth stuff when you're trying to get someone to schedule with you. So you know how you do it. Hey, how are you doing? I'd love to find out more about you. Okay, great. When are you available? How about Tuesday at 3? No. And then this is probably a couple days. What about Monday at 4? What about Thursday at 12 noon? All that going back and forth. You can redeem your time, get your time back by using Calendly and sending them that link. And then they can pick out which day and time is right for them. I use it for everything I'm booking for, whether it's a virtual coffee, whether it's looking at a program, or maybe it's even a podcast interview. I use it for all of that, and it helps to knock out all that back and forth stuff. So go ahead and get your Calendly. Just go to calendly.com and sign up. I think they give you 10 days or 14 days free just to try it out. Then after that, it's only like $15 a month. But I'm telling you that $15 a month will definitely, you'll make it back within your first 2 things that you schedule. All right, so without any further ado, let's check on Lissa Figgins and go and talk with her in the studio right now. What's holding you back from hitting go on your marketing plan? Fear, being unsure, imposter syndrome, frustration? That stops now. What if I showed you how to reach your target audience and get them to buy? How to make social media marketing easy? How to understand the power of email marketing? And how to conquer your fear of putting yourself out there? What if I provided you with simple tools and techniques, easy to implement training that bring you clarity, and give you the expertise and the know-how to convert marketing into money? Hey there, I'm Carol J. Dunlop, the online wild strategist and 6-time best-selling author. I teach purpose-driven entrepreneurs just like you to convert marketing into money. If you're a purpose-driven entrepreneur who's ready to stop allowing fear and frustration to keep you stuck and instead embrace clarity, authority, and expert instruction to convert your marketing strategies into money in the bank, then you need to join the Unmarketing Academy. In the Academy, you'll take a deep dive into the tools, techniques, and trainings that helped me and my husband to sustain our successful business in spite of the 2008 recession, 2 major health crises, and of course, the pandemic. The Academy is about replacing expensive, frustrating, and overwhelming marketing practices with simple, easy to implement marketing resources that get you in front of your target audience and get you paid. This Academy is for purpose-driven entrepreneurs who crave simple marketing strategies, coaches who need real-life trainings to take the overwhelm out of marketing, small business owners who are ready to conquer their fear of putting themselves out there, service providers who want to use social media and email marketing effectively, action takers who are ready to go live without fear. Marketing your business successfully takes work and marketing. Without marketing, they don't know you exist. If you're ready to convert your marketing into money, you need to join the Unmarketing Academy. Join the Unmarketing Academy today by going to unmarketyourbusiness.com/join. Okay, now we're in the studio with my new friend and new person that is helping me to get my time together, get myself together, Lissa Figgins. And I'm going to bring her on now. I'm going to ask her to tell a little bit about herself so we can get to know her. And then we're going to get right into this thing. So y'all hold on to your hat because we're going in right now. Hey, Lissa, how are you?
I am good, Carol. Thank you so much for inviting me into your studio today.
Oh, you're welcome. So why don't you go ahead and get it started and tell the audience, who you serve, about yourself, whatever you want us to know about you.
Sure. So my name is Lissa Figgins. It's Melissa without the M-E because it's not about me. That's how you can remember it. I am the time management strategist for busy Christian women business owners who want to increase the ROI in their time. Because let's be honest, a lot of us are running from morning till night and well past sun going down, doing a lot of things, but not always seeing the ROI that we're looking for and that we're praying for. And I was the poster child for busy and checking boxes and multitasking to the max and thinking that I had all of my time management squared away. And it actually ended up leading to not only a health issue, but also, it affecting every area of my life, my relationships, my business, my health, like I said. And so I am really passionate around helping women, specifically Christian women who are business owners, because we take on this extra responsibility to really shift how we approach time and do it in such a way that we're not working like the world does, but we're doing it God's way and with Him and seeing what I call the kingdom kind of results.
I love that. And I can so resonate with all you just said. I did a podcast earlier today, as a matter of fact, and we were talking about people who are U.S. citizens who have traveled, who are doing their business outside of the U.S., global, taking our business global and all that. And one thing that we have learned is that the US is the problem, or we are the problem. It's not everybody else. It's like the whole world operates on something else besides what we operate on. And then we're like, get over there. What's wrong with them? So I can definitely relate with you, to you, when you're talking about time management and running from A to B, A to Z, Z to F, and not knowing where you are. I'm kind of feeling a little bit like that right now because I'm not in my element. I am making it workoutable, because that's how we do.
Right.
But, I feel like I'm calming, I'm okay. And just being here with you in this space, we're going to share some things about how to redeem your time and how it's not all your fault that your time is crazy, right?
Right. Yes. You're living in a country right now where siesta is the norm. And
yes.
Back here in the States, like who has time for a nap when there's so much work to be done? And, so many of us are staying up, like I said, all hours of the night, getting up early and, trying to produce something or respond to something or do something literally every minute of our day. And we wonder why we're stressed out, worn out, burned out.
I know, right?
Things start falling apart, right?
Yeah. We wonder like, oh, what's happening now? Why do I have this ache? Or, why can't my brain function? It's because of, we're trying to do too much in the little time that we have, because all of us only have 24 hours, whether we want to admit it or not. There's no 25th hour or even 24 and a half hours.
Right.
So
go ahead.
Now I was going to say, let's jump this off because this podcast is about unmarketing strategies, which you are one of them, girlfriend. I heard you when your introduction, what is the untime management? I love it.
Yeah.
Join the ungroup, baby. So we are talking about these strategies that can help get traffic to your website. So the first question I want to ask you is, how do you get traffic to your website?
I love this question because I will tell you how I tried to do it that didn't work. And that was doing all the things, right? Like I was trying to be everywhere at all times and offer something to everyone. In fact, at one point in my business, I'd started off in health coaching and I said, if you have hair, skin, and a digestive system, I can help you. I thought that was smart marketing because I thought, wow, look at this. I can work with anyone on the planet. And what I didn't know is I was, number one, fading into the sea of sameness, I call it. I was plain vanilla, right? I was just, I wasn't really speaking out in such a way that people heard me. And so what I've learned to do, instead of trying to be everywhere and everything and doing everything, is the power of one. And one of the things that I talk around time that also relates to this question about, bringing people to our website is multitasking. So when we're trying to be, in multiple platforms, offering multiple things, working with multiple best clients and all these things, nobody really knows for sure what we do. And guess what? A confused mind does nothing and scrolls to the chat video. Let's be honest.
Yes, for real.
What I've learned is that, we think especially, as a woman, we think my superpower is multitasking. I can do all these things at once and, and really knock out some things with my time and in my business. And yet when we try to multitask or when we try to be all things to all people and be everywhere, we end up diluting ourselves. It's like kryptonite was to Superman, right? Like it weakened him. And I think it weakens our focus. So how does this tie into my website traffic? Is I finally learned to let go of trying to do all the things for all the people and got really crystal clear on the one, what I call the power of one, right? The one person that I serve, the one transformation that I help them get, and the one, offer that I have that is bringing her to this transformation. And so when you hear me on a podcast or when you see me on social, it's very clear. And what I found is that clarity drives people. They're willing to take that next step because they're like, oh my goodness, she's talking to me. And I think of all the time that I wasted doing all these things, trying to be everywhere and talk to everyone. And, it wasn't effective because people didn't have any idea what I was doing and if this was for them. So I think that's the biggest thing, is really simplifying and streamlining to what your ones are. And then making sure it's really clear when they land there, that they're in the right place.
I love that. And that is so true because we can't serve more than one, even the Bible says you can't serve God and mammon. You got to make a choice. There has to be a choice in there. And for a long time, I struggled myself. We offer web design services. We started offering marketing services because we knew that our people needed them. But my whole thing was, well, how do I put the website design and the marketing? And it was kind of convoluted and not necessarily all that great. And then, God always puts people in your life that can help you do things that you don't think that you can do. So I joined this web design group, a wonderful coach, Josh Hall, and it's called the Web Designer Pro. All these web designers from all over the world, very diverse community. And he helped me with one thing. It was just in the first, week or so of being in that group. He said something and I'm like, wow, I have the answer now. So I went to my website, tweaked everything. And now when you come to the website, you clearly know that we do website design, but we also help you protect your website with the web maintenance so it doesn't go down. And we show you how to market it. And I was like, dang, where has this been all my life? I've been trying to do this. But sometimes I think we just look at all the things. We look at everything. I got to do social media. I got to go here. I got to go there. How can I get people? But now, just because of those little tweaks, we're seeing more traffic. We're getting more clients. The word is getting out there even more. I mean, we've been in this business for a long time, but it's nothing like when somebody can come to your website and go, hey, I know exactly what you do, and that's what I need. Or I know exactly what you do, not quite interested. And that was what I was teaching my clients. And isn't it funny? We can do that for our clients all day, every day, 24/7, 365, but we can't do it for ourselves for some reason.
Sometimes we're just way too close to the situation to be able to see it, right?
That is true. That is true. So I just want to say that as a thumbs up to coaches and people getting coaches and coaches getting coaches. I don't care what you are. If you're a coach, you need a coach. If you're a strategist, you need a coach. If you're whatever you are, you need a coach, because like you said, you're too close to the problem. You can't see it. And you think you're seeing it. You think you could solve your own time management problems, which we're going to get into in just a second, but you really can't, because you're like, well, I'm doing okay. Why do I need to change anything? And then somebody gives you one little piece of nugget thing and you're like, oh my God, you just dropped the bomb on me.
Right. The other thing I've gotten comments about too, when people show up to my website, is they're like, you're the same person here as you are in your podcast, as you are in the community, as you are. And so I think that cohesive brand is really important as well, visually, as well as in your messaging. That you feel like, oh, I already know her. I already know what she does. I'm in the right place. This feels comfortable. This feels the same as where I interacted with her before. And I think that really helps, not only to bring people to your website, but to keep them there. Because I think that's the next challenge, right? We can get traffic there, but how are we engaging them and keeping them there such that they're staying? And, right now they're saying that our attention span is less than a goldfish, which is not very long. So we have to make sure that, that visibly as well as verbally, we're really communicating clearly and keeping them on our website once they arrive.
Yeah, and getting them to convert to whatever we're telling them to do, because we have to be the people that they're listening to. We're in control. So when they land on our site, we take control. We don't allow them just to roam around or whatever. We say, okay, go here, download this, go here, watch that. And I think that's one of the things that people kind of get confused a little bit. No, we are in control. We tell you what to do. And if they don't want to do that, then they go away. But the people who want direction, because isn't that why we're on the website in the first place? We want our questions answered. We need to get some kind of direction going on. And if you are the person who's in control of the website and you tell them do this, this, and this, and they do it, you got a client for life, I would say.
Yeah.
So now I want to transition into this time management thing, which we all can't seem to get a handle on, or I couldn't seem to get a handle on before. But now I think I'm doing much better. I think one of the keys is to just breathe. Because when you breathe, you actually put oxygen into your body, into your lungs, into your whole soul. And that oxygen, that good, fresh, pure oxygen, is really helping you to calm down and to think. But other than that, I have this question for you. Why does time management not work to keep our time under control? Tell us that secret.
Right. Well, first I want to go back to something that you already shared earlier, and that is, we all get 24 hours in a day. So I say time is our number one equalizer, but it's also the number one differentiator, because how we approach it is what's going to differentiate what the results are, the ROI, right?
Right.
Where we are right now is a result, good, bad, or indifferent, of the choices we've made, and with our time up until now, right? And where we will be also the result of the choices that we make. And the beautiful thing is that in every moment in front of us, we have a choice. But here's the problem. I think so many of us think that time management is the solution, and then we wonder why it's not working, right? Like you just said,
Right.
So often we've done that. And that's what I was doing too. I had all my time blocks lined up. I had my checklist organized. I had all these things in place, and yet it wasn't working. And the more that I've really worked, not only seeing what happened in my life and business, but also been speaking and working with others, I think it really comes down to this, that first of all, our busyness, our time issues are not just due to a disordered calendar. I believe they're due to a disordered heart. Right? We are so distracted by all kinds of things. And all, we're our hearts and minds and hands, and we're going in every which direction. And we wonder why it feels like we don't have time. So I think what time management does is it just kind of masks the problem. But the problem is that time management really, it's not possible. Because if you look at the definition of manage, it means to keep under control, to keep something lined up in a box, right? So it doesn't get away from you. And so what do we do as managers? Think about like the manager at a restaurant or a store, right? Their job is to keep those employees in line. And when there's a customer that gets out of line, they're the one who has to deal with the crisis and things like that. So all day long, right, they're just scurrying about that store or restaurant, trying to keep everything in line the way it's supposed to be. Well, we all know things naturally in the world go from order to disorder, right? Think about the closet you clean out. That looks amazing when you finally take the time to do it, but over time it goes right back to, the way it looked or worse. And
funny how that happens.
I know, right? It's called the law of entropy. So it's not your fault, right? That's what things do. So what happens is we get everything lined up, but how often do things stay naturally like that? They don't. Life happens, right? Unexpected things come up, interruptions come up, distractions come up. And so we feel like we're playing whack-a-mole all day long, trying to keep things, put things back in line. And it's exhausting. It is literally exhausting. And I feel like so many of us, myself in the past included, we are chasing time like it's this limited resource that we have to keep under control because we are the managers of it. And if we don't, it will get away from us. And then we won't have what we need. Wow. Right. So I really believe that it is an illusion. It may feel well ordered for a time, but it's not going to stay that way. And if we always look at our role as a manager and it's that top down, right? You're actually putting a lid on your time and on the results of your time because you're having to be so heavy-handed to keep things exactly like that. Right. So what I teach is the un-time management way of our time, and that's with, open hands. See, time is this beautiful, abundant gift from God. The 24 hours in our day, that's neutral. It's what we choose to believe about it that makes a difference. Do I see that 24 as this abundant gift that I've been entrusted with? And if I invest it wisely with Him, it will produce 30, 60, 100-fold results? Or do I see it as this limited resource that it's not enough and I'm always behind and I wish I had more of? So we start shifting our perspective around believing we do have time and that our role is just to manage it, but to actually steward it, which is what redeeming the time is all about. It's about stewarding the time that's been given to us and investing it in what's going to bring the fruit, what's going to bring the growth. And it seems like a subtle shift, but it's amazing the difference that makes. Number one, going from I don't have enough time to I have time. Right. And from I need to be better at managing my time to how can I steward my time?
I love that. It gives me power just even thinking about it right now, that I have the power of managing or doing whatever I need to do with my time because it is a gift, and how I choose to use it. Maybe I just want to lay on this couch for a minute. Right. It's okay. Maybe I want to write a blog article. It's okay. Because I feel guilty when I don't write the articles and get them out there. I don't do the videos. I'm behind with YouTube. We just go on and on and on. And I think all that negativity that we pump into our body, into our mind, into our soul kind of affects us after a while. Like, we start thinking, well, I'm not good enough. I didn't get those YouTube videos done. So I don't have enough YouTube subscribers. So I can't make money. It's just like a barrel rolling down the hill, and we just keep thinking about it. But now you've given us this gift, and it's like, I can do what I want with my time.
Yeah. I call it facing our not enoughness. It starts with what you just said. I don't have enough time.
Right.
And then it comes to my doing is not enough. And then that leads to I'm not enough. And guess what? We're running around telling ourselves, I don't have time. I'm not doing enough. I'm behind. I can never get ahead. Time always gets away from me. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. That is exactly what's going to happen. And, I always tell people, here's this simple test to prove to yourself that you have time. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
It's kind of scary. Okay. So this is one of those, you got to be brave to do this. Okay. Grab your phone, open up your settings and your screen time. And so if you ever say, I didn't have time today, you go look at that screen and you see how much time you gave to that device. Now, you and I are business owners, so I get that some of that time was probably very productive and very purposeful on that device. But
some
exactly. Right? And so, so I really teach women to go, okay, and how to ask the right question around your time. So number one, you do have time, right? But I think the problem is we're asking the wrong question. Because all day long, I'm picking up my phone, I'm looking at my watch, I'm looking at the clock on my computer or my wall, and I'm asking the question, what time is it? And guess how I feel when I ask that question? Or maybe you tell me, how do you feel when you're like, what time is it?
If I do that, I feel stressed like a mug. I'm telling you, I'm ready to go throw myself off somewhere because I'm like, I don't have time for this. Oh my gosh, what time is it? Like,
I should have already left the house by now.
Yes.
This should have been finished by, it's always the I'm behind. And it's this like, right?
Yeah.
So here's the new question. Ready?
Okay.
What is it time for?
Ooh, let me write that
Even
down.
just that question, you can feel it, like my shoulders just come down, right? And it presupposes two things. They're very subtle, but again, these make such a difference because if you don't do these things first, you can pick up the time management tools, the planners, the time blocks, the other apps and things you have, and they're not going to work. What is it time for presupposes number one, I do have time. And number two, there's a purpose behind the time in front of me. And now I'm being intentional as to what I'm focusing on. So back to your example, if I am so tired that my brain is starting to get foggy and I can see that things are taking me longer than they should because I just need to close my eyes for a few minutes, then guess what? What is it time for? It is time for a nap on that couch.
I know that's right. Yes.
Yeah. But if I need to get this blog out, right, because this is what I've committed to, and this is what's, putting that new content on my website so that it's bringing people in, or it's the connection to the podcast or whatever it is, right? Okay. And I'm showing up and I'm doing that. I'm not answering texts or messages. I'm not clicking on different links. I'm not, doing the laundry, all of that. Like I'm giving that full focus. And here's what's so interesting. Multitasking actually, because of the distraction that happens, it makes your tasks take up to 50% longer and you make up to 40% more mistakes.
I believe it. That's why I don't multitask.
Or like, I can just quick do this while I'm doing this, I'm doing this. And then,
I so lose track. I've lost track. The minute I say that I can do this and this and this, lost track. Track is lost. And you know what? I want to say something about that. We don't prioritize what is important to us when we're looking at what is it time for. Perfect example. A client of mine yesterday, she is prepping for a webinar. It's going to be a big webinar, like she's going to sell her new program that she has through this webinar. And I asked her, I was like, well, how many people are coming? And she said, well, some number, 10 or 12 or something are going. I was like, is that a Facebook event? She was like, yes, they said they're going. I was like, that's trash. Don't even be bothering with that stuff. Those people, they don't even, they never come. What you need to do is get your landing page up, put that on there and invite them to via the landing page so they can get on your list so you can talk to them. Not 10 minutes later, she goes, Carol, I'm putting this chat on my website so they can download the workbook. I'm like, what? A chat? She was like, well, what can you do? Because I do help her with the website, right? And she goes, can you do? I'm like, no. And you don't need to do it either. Leave that darn chat alone. You don't need to be chatting. You don't need to be nothing. You need to be getting people on this list. That is the thing. I should ask her this. What is it time for? It's time for you to get people on that list. It's not time for you to stop and install a chatbot or stop and do some other crazy thing. No, that is a priority you need to be doing if you want to sell the stuff like you say you do.
Exactly. Right. This is where I believe for business owners, time is the number one place we need to focus first. Because everything essentially comes down to it, right? Because if your time is out of control, whether it's when you're sitting down to your business or everything else out here, you're going to be distracted. You're going to be unfocused. You're going to be randomly doing random things at random times for random reasons and get random results, right? Yeah. So like you said, it is important to go, what are my priorities? What's not just something I can do? What is actually going to move the needle? So for example, and what you talk about here, how do we get people to our websites, right? There are a lot of things we could do, but a lot of them are not really going to fit that goal of getting people to our website.
They're just wasting time.
Exactly.
They come out and say, oh, this is going to do this. I saw something on Facebook yesterday. Stop doing videos, turn everything into a podcast and blah. I was like, didn't I just see the opposite? Stop doing podcasts, turn everything into a video. You can't always listen to or emulate the stuff that you see that's out there that is trying to get to you.
Yes.
You have to stop. You have to say, and I'm going to use this again, what is it time for? Then your priorities are straight. You know exactly what you need to do. You can divide up your time. But if you just, the time is for this. Oh, they said don't do this. Oh, they say do that. And then getting back to your oneness, the one thing, when you figure out, because, all of us have this thing with marketing. What is it we need to do? How do we get people to our website? How do we get clients? How do we get all this? We start doing all these millions of things. When we come down to that one straight and narrow thing that we do, and we keep doing it over and over, and some people don't want to do stuff over and over, but that's how you get results. You do stuff over and over. You tell people the same things over and over, and then eventually they will listen and they will become clients. But that's
what are they saying now? People have to be exposed to us like 12 or more times.
At least 21. I say 21.
Oh, wow. Okay. So it's only exponentially gone up. And here's the truth. I want to make sure that all your listeners hear today. You don't plant seeds and harvest in the same season.
Ooh.
Right?
Good stuff.
There has to be time in between. Now, it's not just I plant a couple seeds and then I go wander away and hope that it grows on its own. There's intention in that time in between. But also, too, a farmer isn't just putting one seed in the ground and, hedging all of his bets on, that one seed producing, the kind of crop that he wants. He's putting quite a bit of seed out there, and he knows which fields are his to plant in. And he knows then what things to do to nurture and, and hydrate and, give those seeds as they're starting to grow what they need. Right. And then when it's time for harvest, right? Like he's out there doing the work of bringing in the harvest. And so
it's a process.
We want this instant gratification. We want, I'm going to do a video where people are jumping in my, $15,000 program. Well, sometimes that happens, but not most days, right? And not everyone. It is a little bit longer game, and sticking with that one thing long enough. I tell my clients, I call them CEOs, Christ empowered operators of their God-given business. I'm like, make your CEO decisions and stick with it for at least 6 months, unless God very clearly says, you need to stop and do this. Yeah. You have to give it that time, and let it go through that season of growth.
Yeah. Same thing in advertising and publishing. If you go to any advertising place, any kind of advertising, you say, well, I want to get an advertisement in this magazine or even online, it doesn't matter. They say, I want a 3 to 6 month commitment. If you can't do a 3 to 6 month commitment, don't even talk to these people, because you will have just wasted your money. And then some people go, no, just 1 month, they get nothing. Yeah. Because seeing it one time or even seeing it in one issue is not enough. You got to continually tell people all the time, which brings me to this question. How does what we spend our time on as business owners affect our success?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, again, I this is a love-hate I have with this statement, right? We often hear time is money, right? And I go, the other day I was sitting down with the Lord. I'm like, okay, really? Is that true? Because the world says, when they hear that, they're like, okay, that means I got to cram as much into my time as I can because time is money. So I got to be on all these places, all these things offering let's, more is better. like go big or go home. And I really believe time is the most precious resource that he has given us. And the way in which we invest that time is directly related to what kind of results we're going to have. And in business, we're looking for two things. We're looking for impact, and then what follows impact? Income, right? When we are making an impact and people are hearing that and they're being invited into our world and whatever it is that we offer, right? I can't really make a full impact on someone until my business name shows up on their credit card statement. Right?
Wow.
Otherwise, they're just binging, the easy stuff or the little stuff or whatever. And there are a lot of people out there who are, like you said earlier, they're listening to every little guru or expert out there and they're consuming all day long, but they're not really putting down roots.
Right.
So as a business owner, number one, I don't have time to waste on a bunch of random things and that aren't going to work. I got to really get streamlined on where is my time going, what matters most, because here's the thing. I don't want to be working 24/7 either.
No.
I have a life, I have a family, I have ministries and, other things that I want to be able to put my time into and take care of myself.
Right.
And so I think that's part of it too, because if we're, not sleeping well, if we're not eating well, if we're not exercising, if we're not getting time, outside or with friends and family and things like that, we can sit down in front of that computer, but we are not going to be fully present. And so, yes, this issue of time is the number one thing that business owners need to look at if they want to grow and they want to scale.
Right. And I think what you said about not trying to control it, but think of it as a gift and then seeing what you can do with the gift after that. Because all of us love gifts. We love to get gifts all the time. So if we look at the time as a gift, because the thing is, when you wake up in the morning, there's just going to be a few more hours so you're going to sleep again. So what are you going to do in that middle time with this beautiful gift that you have? Can you impact someone? How can you impact someone's life? How can you take care of your own life? And how can you be the good steward of time that God has meant you to be? I think those are some things we need to look at. Lissa, you have really caused us to go, and think about a lot of things, especially where time is concerned, where we're concerned and all of that. So I know that you have a really great challenge for our audience. Please tell us about it.
Yeah, I would love to do that. And first, let me preface it with this. I believe there are only two responses to our time. Are you ready? Fear or faith. Look at the parable of the talents. I call it the parable of the servants in Matthew 25. One of those servants took what he'd been given by his master. He was afraid it was going to get away. So he managed it really well by digging a hole in the ground and burying it.
Yeah.
And guess what? It didn't get away, but we know that was not the intent of the master when he came back. But those other two servants, they had faith and they understood that their role was not to be managers, it was to be stewards. And so what did they do? They invested what they'd been given on behalf of the master, brought back double what they had been given, and then were entrusted with more. And so it's really this, am I responding to my time out of fear or out of faith? Fear is going to manage it, try to keep it under control, chase it because it's this limited resource. I'm a steward. It's a gift, right? And what does this look like? So I have a planner, like an actual paper, physical planner, because here's the thing. Time is this it feels like it's hard to make it tangible. And so I love having tangible tools. And so I have a planner that's coming out in November. And one of the tools that I I'll be giving out in the planner is an assessment around 8 areas of your life to look at how balanced you are. And I think this is something when somebody wants to work on their time, typically they want to jump right into the calendar, right? Because that's got to be where the solution is. I got too many things in this calendar.
Right.
There's got to be some strategy to this. But like you alluded to earlier, if I don't know what has priority and what's needing my time and attention, this is not equal for every area, but think of a ballerina, right? And in order for a ballerina to stay balanced, she is making slight adjustments so quickly, right, to keep herself upright. It does not mean that she is giving exactly this much pressure one way and then this much pressure this way, or she would be wobbling all over the place. So I put together this balance assessment where I take the 8 key areas of life that I believe every single person listening to this needs to pay attention to, or get this. One day, they will demand your attention, and they will always cost more time, more money, more energy, stress, and they will be taken away from your ROI in your business, right? So I put together this balance assessment guide along with a coaching video because most people aren't willing to take the time to look at their time and to what matters and what needs their attention. And so, yeah, I want to put that together for your audience today. You can go to redeemhertime.com/assessment. Download that. My video will walk you through exactly how to use it. And it's really enlightening about what is needing your time and attention so that you can stay balanced, so that you can see the ROI in life and business that you're looking for. Well, like asking the question, what is it time for? So yes, I think here are a couple of things from what we've talked about today that I would challenge your audience to. Number one, whenever you hear yourself saying, I don't have time, or some version of it, remind yourself, I do have time. And if you need a reminder, go look at your screen time. Okay. Number two, start asking the question, what is it time for? Because that's going to help you be more present to the time in front of you. And number three, start evaluating, right? Am I responding to time out of fear or out of faith? And, then with this assessment, you're going to be able to see what is it that's needing some time. And it might not be that it needs more time. Maybe it just needs focused time because it's not getting enough of you to really make a difference. And again, it's going to throw things off one day if we're not paying attention.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Lissa, for joining us today, for shedding light on something that we think about, but don't really think about. We throw to the side, but now we know this is a precious gift from God and we need to take care of it and be good stewards of our time. And I think it will help us all. So you've really helped out a lot. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for saying yes to the podcast and in helping me to relaunch this out there to the world, because people need to know this stuff. They need to know not only how to get traffic to their website, they need to know how to take care of themselves. They need to know how to manage their time, and they need to know how to do all this together and not go, oh my God, I'm just so overwhelmed. So that's what we're seeking to do. And that's what you've helped us to do. So thank you very, very much. Is your website ready for prime time? When your ideal prospects land on your website, do they see the true professional you are? Or are they greeted by a site that's not quite ready for prime time? For 30 years, we've helped coaches and service providers transform their online presence into powerful client-attracting machines. As a premier website designers in the Atlanta area, we don't just build websites, we create conversion engines that work for you 24/7. Why choose CSI for your WOW website? We're experts in authority marketing. We help you convert web visitors into paying clients with our proven unmarketing strategy. We offer complete protection. We'll work hard to keep your website safe from hackers and accessible to all. And we offer purpose-driven results, custom designed for coaches and service providers who want to make a real impact. If you're ready to make an impact with your website, download our free WOW website planner today. Inside this planner, it'll give you all the information you need to create your own WOW website. Whether you use us or someone else, you need a WOW website that converts web visitors into paying clients. So go to csicorporation.com/planner right now and download the free WOW website planner. Well, I hope you enjoyed that interview. I had so much fun doing that. Me and Lissa are best buds now. We call ourselves the Un-Sisters, and I love it. It's always good when you can find a like-minded colleague who can just get into what you're into, and y'all can have a great conversation. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you go out and do the things that she says, and the next time think about your time and what you're doing with it. So it's time now for the spotlight. And in the spotlight today is my client, colleague, best friend, coach, person to cry with, Nadine Mullings of Nadine Mullings Marketing Agency. She is the perfect student. She's a perfect colleague. She's extremely the perfect coach and friend. I've known Nadine for a number of years, and I want to congratulate her, shout out to her, because she is doing it. She came into my program, 2020, she did her first book with me, 90-Day Gratitude Journal for Your Business. That went to bestseller. So that was her first book with me. She had one book she put out previously. And now she is, I think, is a 4-time best-selling author. Woohoo! So shout out to that. Some people can't even get the best-selling author. Some people can't even get to one book done. And she's got 4 out there. So I'm very proud of that. But recently we came together and we did the Power of Your Message Summit. Now, Nadine approached me. This is her fourth summit, I think she's done, because she was also in my summit lab. She was in my bestseller lab. And then she was also in the podcast lab. So she learned how to do all these things, and she didn't wait. She put them into play, right? So she's got podcast going. That's 8 seasons strong. This is her fourth, I think it's her fourth summit. And then she's a 4-time best-selling author. So that's what I'm talking about, a super A+ student, right? So she asked me to come in and co-host the Power of Your Message Summit with me. And the twist on this was that it was going to be an audio summit. I was like, audio summit? Nobody done those since 2013. But I'm like, okay, that's what you want to do, Nadine, we're going to do it. And it was such an awesome, first of all, it was an awesome prompting from God to say to her, Carol, you want to come in with me? And then for me to be obedient and say yes, and then to do it, because it was a whole lot of stuff going on. We were trying to get that summit together. I'm so glad it was audio. If it was video, we would not have been able to do that at all, because things were just too crazy with me moving to Mexico. And then when we moved here, I didn't have access to high-speed internet, and it was kind of crazy. But we made it work. It was awesome. We got so many great reviews about it. It is helping so many people. And then this week, actually tomorrow, is the last day of the Power of Your Message Challenge. So we went back through on each day of the summit. We started out with a prayer, and then we had the speakers for each day. We talked about clarifying your message, stewarding your message, monetizing your message, mastering your message, and then embodying your message on the 5th. I think we had 11 or 12 speakers. Altogether, we had 24 speakers in the entire summit. And then we had about 11 or 12 of them join us on that live session on Friday, talking about embodying your message. And it was so very powerful. And we wanted to continue the learning for some people who couldn't attend or only could attend a few of the sessions. And we came up with the Power of Your Message Challenge. So every day of the challenge, the Power of Your Message Challenge, every day of the summit, I did a challenge that kind of put all the ideas together that each of the days was talking about. Like I did a challenge for stewardship, clarity, monetization, and mastery. And then we had the live session on Friday. So we said, why don't we put those challenges together and come up with a Power of Your Message Challenge? And that's what we did. We ran it from starting this past Monday, and it ends on tomorrow. So you still have time to get in. All you need to do is go to unmarketyourbusiness.com/challenge, and then you can get the whole thing of the Power of Your Message Summit. And the challenge videos are in there. If you want to see the challenge videos without the rest of the summit, you can just go to my Facebook page. Look me up. It's at CSI Corporation, and that's my Facebook page. All the challenge videos are there. And then you're still in time, because tomorrow you can see one, right? But if you want the whole entire summit, then you need to go to unmarketyourbusiness.com/challenge. That is the entire summit. That's the upgraded premium pass. And guess what? Not only do you get all 24 recordings from each of the ladies, prayers for every day, plus the challenges for every day, you also get 2 programs and 1 workshop. So altogether, that's about $1,500 value that you're getting for only $97. And when you go to the page, unmarketyourbusiness.com/challenge, you're going to save $5 extra. Just enter that code at checkout. Okay, so go do that right now. Hey there, would you like to be a guest on the Unmarket Your Business podcast? Simple. All you need to do is go to unmarketyourbusiness.com/podcast. All right, so let's recap what we learned when we were speaking with Lissa. The 3 points, 3 takeaways that I got from it was, number 1, our time is a gift from God and it has a purpose. So no longer always saying, I'm running out of time, I don't have time. Yes, we do. We have time, because our time is a gift from God. And if you look at it, you being here, you being alive is a gift from God right now. Okay. And then the other thing was fear or faith. Are you going to fear everything that's coming your way or that you have to do? Or are you going to have faith that you can really do it because God has given you the time to do this? And the third thing is my new favorite saying, you have time, breathe. y'all just don't know how much that helped me, because when Lisa and I were actually recording the thing, I was stressing out. I didn't have my high-speed internet. I had to go to a co-working place. I had to find the right spot. I had to make sure we could get on. It was just like, "Rah!" And I was telling her, can we just go on a little bit later? I'm sorry, I'm going to be late. And she was like, you have time. And that just made me go. So the next time that you're stressed out and you're thinking, I'm not going to get this done, I got too much on my plate, blah, 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 just say, I have time. Take a deep breath. Would you like to get free coaching from me? Simple. All you need to do is go to unmarketyourbusiness.com/podcast. All right, everyone, guess what time it is? It is time for me to tell you about my favorite book of the week. And you need to go out right now and get this book. We just released this book by my client, Michelle Phelps. It's called Legitimizing the New Hustle. It is a new take on creating people-first workplaces. I'm going to read a quote to you from David Shapiro, who wrote the actual foreword for the book. This book invites us to reimagine our workplaces as communities that foster personal and professional growth. It's an inspiring call to action for employers, leaders, or community advocates to create workplaces that put people first. In any line of work, any company, new or old, can benefit from seeing people for their potential instead of their past. Now, we've been working on this book for, I want to say, since March. I think that's when I came in to help her with some editing and to actually put the book together, the layout, the cover, and all of this. And it is amazing. I love it. I love what she's doing. Her and her husband, Dean, actually help people get back into the workforce, whether or not they're returning citizens, from prison or whatever, or they've had drug issues, or they've had hard luck issues in their life. And you know how it is when something happens to you, you get knocked off your feet. You got to get back up. You got to keep going. But sometimes you don't have the wherewithal to do it. Or sometimes the people around you don't know what to do, how to help you. But Michelle and her husband, Dean, have this great organization called One City United, I believe. And that's what they do. They help people get back on their feet. They actually have classes that they send them to, and they have businesses who are willing to help them by hiring these people, because you need a job, because you need money, right? So go out and get this book, Legitimizing the New Hustle, Creating People First Workplaces. Michelle did an excellent job on this, and you would be remiss if you didn't get it. So again, I want to thank my guest, Lissa, for giving us back our time, especially me, telling me how to get back my time. It's wonderful. Now, next week is Thanksgiving, and it starts off the whole Black Friday weekend. So I want you to join me for a very special episode about giving thanks and what Thanksgiving, not necessarily the holiday, but giving thanks and Thanksgiving means to me and can mean to you. I want to bless you with some words of wisdom and advice that will totally help you. So thank you so much. See you next time. Thank you for listening to the Unmarket Your Business podcast. Heard something you want to take action on? Great. Check out the show notes on unmarketyourbusiness.com/podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. Please do me a favor and leave a review or on whatever platform you use to access this podcast. It really helps us to spread the word and get this podcast in front of the entrepreneurs that need it. See you next episode.